Hello and welcome to the Yorkshire Leaders podcast, where we speak to inspiring people from across the region so you can learn from their failures and successes and create your dream life and career. I'm Rachel Clark, a marketing director and lifelong learner who's on a mission to inspire the leaders of today and, importantly, the ones of the future. Today we're speaking to the lovely Noor Ali, a leader who has been doing amazing work across the region. Hello, Noor.
Hi Rachel, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good. Now, Noor, you are really inspiring to me because you've done some incredible work across possibly one of my most favourite aisles in the supermarket, which is the World Foods category. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's a journey that started quite a long time ago. Start knowing my age if I start telling the years, but yeah, got involved first in Asda, and we basically created, along with many people in the business, to create what is called today is the World Foods category. And what it does and what it serves is basically products from suppliers that end up in this category and customers can buy from. And they are niche products. They are mostly suited to the needs of these customers from the ethnic community. However, I think, as everybody knows, this is now very much, it's not really, there'll come a time when we probably don't need this category anymore because everybody's buying into these products, and they're just so exciting. There's just new products every day.
Wow.
And new flavours every day. So, and not just from a food perspective, but from a non-food as well. So, it's really, started in that way, but I think the way it's going, everybody's buying into it now, which is fantastic.
That's amazing. And Noor, I read that you started in Asda on the checkout. Is that right?
I did, yes. I think it was an unfortunate time, basically. So what I mean by that is that we had a family business, a family supermarket, and due to personal reasons, we sold that supermarket. And then I actually really just, I had to move. I was moving from Bradford to Leeds, and I walked into the Asda literally and just said, I need a job. Never done that before. And the first thing, bless him, I remember him, he did say to me, he said, you do need a CV. I didn't have one, and I was obviously because I was just moving, my children were getting settled into the local school. It was great. He gave me that opportunity. He said, okay, come in, Noor, sit down, and we had an informal chat, and he took me on, and I was on the checkouts.
That's amazing. So
from running a business with my family to going on a checkout was quite a big morale, it's a downfall really, because it was a big shift to going back and sitting on the checkouts. But
I can imagine
loved it.
There's no better way to know the customers than being being there serving them.
Trust me, I knew all the gossip. The local gossip was amazing. But it's like starting again. But what you learn sitting on the checkouts about what customers are thinking, feeling, what they're going through, questions about the products, or just generally talking to people. You won't do it anywhere else in the store.
Yeah.
The checkout is the best place to get to know your customers.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And from there, did you? I read that you kind of saw an opportunity for the big supermarkets, to...
Absolutely. And whilst it was great that the manager gave me a great opportunity there, he knew I wasn't going to be staying there for long. And as soon as an opportunity came in the head office, it was actually to join the HR function. And I remember the lady really well, Vicky Revel. She's been a sponsor for me since then. She still is. She gave me that opportunity, and I went into the head office and started off as an advisor in the HR team. And I think the first project I looked at was the induction program of people coming into Asda and what they wanted to cover for that. So, and really key for me to include into that was that store piece, to go and spend some time in the stores, look around, work with the colleagues there, sit on the checkout, serve people, and that's how you get to know. That was a really key part of that induction that I included in there.
That's a great idea.
That's how I started. Yeah.
Good for you. And then you saw an opportunity to, that it wasn't being taken at that time, which was, this is back in, what year was?
This was 2007.
2007.
When we actually launched, yes.
So, our supermarkets have changed so much, haven't they? And they continue to change. But
yes.
I guess that was a time when World Foods category wasn't a thing.
No, it wasn't a big thing then. But what we did, and the support I got at that time from the CEO as well, from Tony D'Annunzio, and Roy Clark, who was my operations person, who was just phenomenal. It was, his experience was great. And what we did was we actually built the whole lot with the suppliers in our merchandising centre. Must have been 30, 40 bays, of ranging. And literally we showcased that to the seniors.
Wow.
And then we did a roadshow. So we went to 4 regions and got all the store managers together, and we talked about what it is we're launching, and they were fully supportive. But, the money started coming in for this category.
This is it. People wanted it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The customers were looking for more interesting things to cook with, inspiration.
Yes.
I know as a real foodie anyway, I'm always looking for inspiration. So it's wonderful to have that reflected.
And the other thing, what it did was, just like we've got our ranges in our rest of the store that will then serve times like Christmas and Easter, these ranges then supported key times for these customers. So whether it's Eid, Diwali, we created Carnival on there as well when I was in Morrison's as well. So, we were able to get after what was really important to them as well, not just about products, but the timings, the seasonal time as well for them as well.
And it's such an important thing for customers, isn't it? They're looking.
This is what they look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know.
And you want to celebrate
absolutely,
as well.
Absolutely.
And Noor, I'm intrigued, just being a real, food obsessive. Is there could you name 1 or 2 products that you are really proud of?
That would be really unfair.
Really, I know there's 3,000 lines or whatever that you introduced.
I think, so some of the products I can mention. When I was in Asda, we created Haribo Halal. So a halal version of Haribo.
And that's a local business as well.
And that was with a local business, So who got in touch with Haribo, and we basically launched the halal version. So that was amazing. I think the other thing is products that we created to suit the needs of the seasonal time. So for Ramadan and Eid, so things like the Ramadan calendars. I think that's been something that even today the retailers have got, and we'll put in there. So that countdown, because Ramadan is 30 days. And trust me, you are counting down.
I bet.
From day one of the fasting. That helps, and it helps the children as well to learn as well, because it becomes an educational tool as well.
If you weren't doing what you do now, what was your plan B?
So when I was young, shall I say, I always wanted to join I always wanted to join the police force.
Wow.
Yeah, I think if I asked some of my suppliers now, or my friends, they'd probably say, yeah, you'd definitely make a good cop. Or
you need to police a lot of the people that you work with as well, probably.
But I think my height had an issue.
I
think in that time there was a bit of a height thing, that you had to be a certain height.
Amazing.
Otherwise, you'd be talking
Incredible.
to PC Noor today.
PC Noor, I love it. Or superintendent, I think. Detective, inspector. I always used to want to be a fighter pilot. Well, amongst many other things. A vet was another one. But I've got such poor eyesight. I've got my contacts in today.
All right.
But that was never an option. Never an option for me. So what kind of leader would you say you are?
So I would explain myself as somebody who wants to lead with success, so through others, because I think leading's not just about coaching and development, but getting people through to where they want to be in life. I think that's really important. So whether I'm leading in the mentoring that I do in the prisons, or working with the Growth Hub or the Go Ahead Partnership, or at work, it is about understanding what people want and how to get them there. That's true leading. At the end of the day, I would ask anybody to be their true self, and because innovation, ideas, being brave. I remember Dalton Phillips at Morrison's the word he used with me was tenacious. And, I was proud of that because that's great to be explained in that way, that I'm okay to take a bit of a pun and bravery, and it's really important because unless you try something, you won't know. Yeah, some things don't work out and some things do, but as long as you learn from it as well. And I think also good leaders are people who are networking and always learning. So I wouldn't say any leader is 100%, they know everything. We need coaching, we need developing. And the way to do that when you're a leader is through networking and learning from others and listening to others and hearing about what they've been through in their lives and learning from that as well.
I love that answer. Wow. I'm feeling totally inspired now.
Networking.
Incredible. And who do you admire the most? I did see that you said your parents were amazing. My
parents are the best, and they're not around anymore, but they were tenacious, they were brave. To come to another country and to start a new life for them and their children, that is just
wow.
That's just amazing.
Where were they originally from?
From Pakistan, in Lahore, and they came over here. And they worked really hard. My mum did many jobs. In fact, my elder sister had to look after myself and my twin and my younger brother. So not only studying and working, but she was like a mum to us as well. So
that's amazing.
They've been through a tough time. But seeing what they've been through has made us all very hardworking as well. Yeah, they set up a factory business. In clothing, making skirts and blouses and trousers for markets. And I remember my dad used to have this massive long table, and he used to put the layers out and cutting, and just watching him do that and working so hard. And my mum working with the ladies to get all those pieces of cloth and make it into... it's amazing.
I mean, those skills as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And they weren't just workers for them. They were all like friends, they all had lunch together, they all meet and outside of work as well. It was really like a family affair.
Wow. I mean, that's very inspiring anyway, to come from that background where you're seeing, true leadership, aren't you, already?
Definitely. And they will never have said that they're leaders.
But they
were born leaders. Yeah. Everything we do, if we're benefiting others, they're going to gain in some way, whether that's financially or personally. So they were doing that all the time.
Wow.
Didn't realise it.
It's like the law of attraction, isn't it? Just they're generating amazing jobs, employment,
100%.
Inspiration that still goes on, which is an amazing thing.
All the family are very hardworking, and it'll be because of watching what they've had to do when they've come here.
Modelling what they did.
Yes, definitely.
No, have you had like a time where you've had a failure, but then you realise looking back it's actually turned into something that has helped you grow or become more successful because of it?
Yeah, I think the failure would be that I'd say sometimes we're quick to move roles into different businesses, and I think I wouldn't class it as a failure, but I think, like I said, it's and I've had people contact me about these things as well when they're wanting to move, and the learning I've given them when I've sort of done it and thought, I'm probably not. I don't know if that was the right decision or not in the past, but when they've asked me, I've sort of said to them, is it the culture? Is it your manager? Yeah. Is it the hours? Or is it the pay?
That's
and I think
good 4 questions.
Yes, I think that's something I'd say to anybody is that it's very easy just to move. I think what we don't do enough is understand exactly what our current position is and where we are and what that really means. And moving is very easy. But as soon as anybody moves role, and I always say that when I'm coaching and developing as well, your comfort zone goes down to the lowest levels.
Absolutely.
And so it's bringing that back up again, and it's hard.
And it takes time as well.
And it takes time.
And it takes time to build those relationships
100%,
back up and the trust and all of those
Absolutely.
things. Yeah.
And the other thing is you don't know wherever you're going to go, you don't know what it's like, because it's not like you're having a trial session and saying, oh well, I'll do a couple of months there and I'll see if I like it first.
Yeah,
it's not. So yeah, it's been brave to take that move, but I'd say to anybody, ask yourself all the questions, and
all the right questions.
All the right questions, and then think, is that the right thing to do or not?
Yeah, and also I think from my own experience of, being offered jobs when I'm in a role, which is a lovely thing.
Yes,
it's it's important to have those discussions with your manager or whoever you're working with, and
absolutely,
because there might be other opportunities within the business that you're already in.
That's right, and
it's
I
worth
think
asking those questions
100%,
as well, because they'll really appreciate that.
Explore it, explore all the options, especially when you're working in big companies. There is always a solution.
Yeah, you mentioned that you're a twin.
I am.
Is that a wonderful thing? Has that changed the way you lead? Has that?
So being a twin is like you've got somebody next to you all the time. And I'm not saying my other family members are not. They're amazing. My elder sister, my brothers. But having a twin is like, it's like I said, she's just next to me all the time. Any questions, anything I need to ask, you probably... we speak every day.
Yeah.
At least... every other day, if not every day. And, one of the things we probably can, I think, I do believe that we probably can think a little bit about what each other's going through without even knowing. I think there is a bit of that.
There's a bit of intuition.
There is, definitely.
I know with my twin friends, I've got 3 sets of twin friends.
Oh, wow.
And they all say the same.
Yes,
even
definitely.
if they're in a different country or...
Yes.
And kind of know when things are going on or...
And my twin sister does work away a lot as well, and I do still keep in touch with her, but she'll know straight away, even from our voices, oh, come on, Noor, what's up? What's happened? What's, straight
Something's
away.
Something's going on and you're not
definitely.
Yeah.
And especially since my mum passed away as well, we absolutely have been even more closer.
Yeah, that's lovely.
So having a twin is great.
Yeah. If you could give your 21-year-old self some advice, what would you say to her?
I would definitely say don't think 21 is not early enough to start networking. Definitely going out and working and networking. I think, if I'm okay to mention LinkedIn, it is a great tool. And
I think that's how we met.
Yes, fantastic. So definitely utilise the tools out there and be brave. I've been in that situation where I think, should I just send them just text? Shall I just send a little text and, they might not respond, and don't worry if they don't respond. People who are true leaders will give 5 minutes to anybody.
I agree. And I think
they're
if
the true
people
leaders.
show initiative.
That's it.
I know when people, obviously, you get a lot of sales messages on LinkedIn, but I had like a work experience who rang me, used the actual phone and rang me. And that doesn't happen very often. I was like, what? You're the only one that's rung.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the choice,
Absolutely.
the options. And
no, it's great. And so networking, I definitely would say, be brave. And work hard. Even if you get an unpaid job, remember the experience you're going to get out of that job will be, life learning. It definitely will be. I remember when I first started it, even working, I'm doing extra jobs all the time, and it's important. It's like the community work I do, and that's not just for the community. That's for myself as well, because it develops me as well.
That's so wonderful.
Get involved in anything. Anything you can get involved in.
It's a good message.
Get involved.
And Noor, I'd love to talk a bit more about, the work that you've done in the community. Yeah. I'm not sure if we mentioned before, but you got awarded a British Empire Medal.
I did, yes.
Which is just extraordinary.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And that was for your work in the community?
It's work for the retail industry, that was.
That's brilliant.
So yes, that was just a fantastic award to receive.
Absolutely, and you've had other awards. A list of other awards.
Yes, there's a few.
Yeah, do you want to talk a bit more about those?
Yeah, I think the awards are amazing because it sort of it sort of confirms that you're doing a good job out there. There's something you're doing that is right. But because at first I'm a little bit, shall I apply for this award? Shall I do this? But actually what you're doing is you're helping others to either become more confident to do that, or to share that actually, yes, you can get to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can get that. Yes, it's
because
possible.
They're seeing people like
That's
you,
right.
who might look people like them.
I mean, I'm not a degree holder. I don't have any degree.
Who needs a degree?
But through working hard, you can still achieve things in life that you never would ever dream of. Honestly, I mean, that British Empire Medal was just it's never would have thought that I would ever receive anything like that, and it was great. I went to Buckingham Palace, and her late Majesty the Queen was there. It was amazing just to see
wonderful. What a great day.
it was amazing. It's fantastic.
Good for you.
I had to choose one person to take with me.
That
difficult. Was very difficult.
Oh goodness.
Twin, daughter, son. The hubby had to go.
Oh, the hubby, yeah. It had to be him.
Had to be him.
Well, how wonderful that was. Good for you. So can we talk a bit more about the mentoring you do? Because I know you're really passionate about the mentoring. And, that is true leadership, is passing on everything you've learned. And I know that you go into prisons and do entrepreneurial courses and things with prisoners. So do you want to give us a little bit of...
Yeah, I'll probably split it into sort of three areas that I work in. And one is children. So working with the Go Ahead Partnership, which do absolutely amazing work. They're really what their role is to set children up for the future, have those choices when they're going to choose what career they're going to go into, and the subjects, so it's fantastic going to schools. And we've done things like Dragon's Den in schools and getting children to really think differently. So that's fantastic. And then just role modelling in schools is great in terms of what have I learnt, what was, how would I choose if I had a chance again, what would I do? The networking piece is really important, and just giving them some ideas on how they can do that as well. And then it goes into sort of businesses and startups. So I work with the Growth Hub in Manchester, and other organisations that I work with as well, just in terms of what can we do, knowing what I know now and what I've learnt through the work I've done. Small businesses find it very hard, and they need help and they need coaching. And I think anybody could offer this help and advice to new startups. I was at the Growth Hub a couple of weeks ago, and there was 5 presentations of small suppliers, and they're so passionate. They're so passionate how they come across, and they've got this product, and I want to do this and I want to do that. And they want to do everything, knowing that they can't.
That's so true.
but
There's
it's
too many options.
Yeah,
I think.
And then what we do is
because we get much more. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry.
We get so much information, don't we?
That's right.
So you're listening to all the other entrepreneurs and what everyone else is doing, and there's comparison, and
they're confused.
It's shiny object syndrome, isn't it?
It's amazing. But the one thing is, they know their product, they're passionate about their product, and they're really hard-working people, and they just need an opportunity. But what my role is as part of that is I am on a panel, and I'm able to give my personal and retail experience advice in terms of what do I think of the product. We taste it. If it's a food product, we taste it. There's the look and feel, there's the packaging, and then we offer some help and support. So whether that's continued mentoring, or we offer some support in terms of some links in terms of whether they need some help on the food safety side or the packaging side, or more in terms of the product itself. Even things like commodities. So, where are they buying their spices from? Where they're buying their ingredients from? A lot of these small suppliers will be getting small volumes in, costing them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's really how can they work to make that product more affordable.
Absolutely, and more efficient.
Exactly.
The commercial side of things.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then the third element of my mentoring is probably the toughest one, and something that I was involved in with the Prince's Trust a long time ago, and rather than just doing odd sessions in prisons, I decided to set up Noor's Den, which
good name.
A good name. But there's myself and there's other business people. So Manish, who has Here and Now Marketing, he's a mentor on there as well. And Navid Said he's from the meat industry, so he understands the manufacturing side. So together what we do, free of charge, we go out to prisons and mentor them for the day.
That's amazing.
And we do that through Dragon's Den, basically. So thank you, Dragon's Den.
Yeah, it's a great concept.
But it's a great concept, and we go in, we put the prisoners into groups. The prison will choose who they want in this day. Usually they are candidates that have probably got 3 to 6 months left before they leave the prison. And what we do is we offer entrepreneurship as a choice when they leave the prison. And what we do is we have a day of them creating a business, getting into groups, talking to each other, creating a business and creating a product. And at the end of the day, they will present that package to us with the governors in the prison as well. And we'll give them certificates for doing the work they've done in the day, but also we'll find a winner and we'll give them a prize as well. And I can tell you from the morning when we start off, they're probably the tough people they are, but by the end of the day, they're very much no different to anyone else. And, you know, working with each other, I've had instances where they've come up to me and said, "No, I don't like presenting."
Yeah. Which is such a common feeling, you know, common fear amongst many people.
And all I say is, don't worry. Why don't you just say a few words? You don't need to say a lot, but just say a few words, because they have to choose a position within a business. We've got a whole concept that they then take on and work through in the day. And I've had funny instances where I've gone to the group. So while they're setting up their product and company, we go around and mentor them. And I've had an instance where the group was sat there, sort of like this.
Arms folded, by
arms
the way.
folded, sat there.
If you're listening on audio, that's arms folded.
And I'm saying, what's happened? Oh, we've closed the business down.
Wow.
No, that's not part of the plan.
not in
they've
under
had
a day.
fallout. No, that was first hour. So they've fallen out.
Creative differences.
And they've had some differences and the business is shut. No, so you need to start again. But it's great because that teaches them about listening to each other and talking to each other and understanding what other people, what they might want to think about this product or whatever. And it's sharing ideas and accepting people's ideas as well, because that's quite hard.
Yeah.
Because people are very much, no, I know that's right.
Very
I know.
individual, maybe.
Yeah, some people are very much into in their ways and don't want to change. So it teaches them quite a bit, but it teaches us a lot as well. You know, we develop as mentors in there because it teaches us how to develop the others, teaches our own personal style, confidence, presenting, all these things.
It's one of these things, isn't it? You think, right, I'm going to go and give back because I've got so much to give. And then when you get out there, you realise that it's the people you think you're helping that are actually helping you, grow as a person, emotionally and everything. Because I think you get so much feedback from the community.
Amazing. And I think what was really quite tearful was I was shopping one day and a young gentleman came up to me and he said, "Do you remember me, Noor?" And I went, "Oh, whoops, my husband's with me. I wonder what he's thinking. No, I don't know you." And he said, "No, you came to my prison and you mentored me." And I went, "Oh, right." And he said, "I've set up a business, Noor, and I'd love you to come and have a look at it." So,
that's amazing. That one person.
That's one. I'm happy with that.
Exactly.
People need a chance. People make mistakes, and we need to give them a chance. And many of them just want to get out and see their children again.
I love that story. In the supermarket as well.
Yeah, it was
a full circle moment.
Full circle.
It was in the supermarket that it happened.
No, it's brilliant.
That's wonderful.
Retention's a big problem in the prisons. I know it's
people coming out and then
going back in,
very
quickly.
And that's where, the cycle needs to be broken, doesn't it, with self-esteem and
I think the problem
having other options.
Yeah, I think the problem I find is that talking to the prisoners is that when they come back out, the support probably is not fully there.
And as we all know, there's many things going on in a human being's life anyway.
Absolutely. And employers need to, just like we're able to support any disability, we need to be supporting people who just probably even on a trial basis to give them a chance to, give them a new life again.
That's a great message.
Yeah.
And there are some really great success stories in business of businesses that are helping prisoners
They
to
are.
get back to work.
There is many.
And
Yeah, but
which
I think
is
it's
brilliant.
a missed one.
Yeah.
I think it's more and more businesses need to do this. I know I was in touch with a startup who was a prisoner, and I met him, and it was actually through the Growth Hub, and I met him, and he employs prisoners because he's been there himself.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
you know, what a great story that is.
Isn't it
And his
just?
business, his focus is to bring prisoners into his workplace and give them a job, which is just
Brilliant.
just amazing.
When it comes to your business, we've kind of discussed this a little bit, but what values are important to you when it comes to, you know, your working life, your leadership style? What things do you kind of hold
I think
dear?
work-life balance is important. So trust. I think trust is really important. And I think, don't get me wrong, you've got to gain that trust for you to be able to be given it. Being able to be open and honest, especially, again, both ways. Giving feedback back to somebody and being able to sort of listen to somebody as well, and not just, just
One-way
assume.
street.
Yes, yeah, it is. Because, I'd ask you the question, how many leaders would take feedback up about themselves? I'm talking about the top leaders at the very top. Would they accept feedback on themselves? Do they ever ask anybody, what do you think of that? How do you think I approach that? I remember I used to work for a lady called Kay Crute in Asda in the first retail I worked in. And she was really amazing in that after every presentation, after every meeting, I actually did a PA role for her for a little while, which I loved. I enjoyed that.
It was great to learn from someone
it was
as well.
amazing.
Yeah.
But she'd come out and she'd go, right, Noor, how did I do? And to be asked that question by somebody so senior, in fact, frightened me a little bit, because it was like, oh, do you think I should tell her?
Yeah. Shall I say it?
Shall I
say it like it was?
Yes. But, she was amazing. She wanted to know.
That's great.
And
isn't
how
it?
many people really today will come out of a session and say, well, how do you think I did?
And that's how she led as well.
Yeah.
That's how she grew as a
Absolutely.
person. And as we know,
Yeah.
that's how you do grow
Definitely.
as a person, because if you don't get the feedback,
Yeah. So
You can't
trust and understanding, and definitely feedback is really important. And again, I would include networking and sharing that network with your
being
colleagues.
open with your network.
Yeah, absolutely. And sharing, oh, well, I've done that through this one. Why don't you try that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This worked. How about trying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a leader won't have all the strengths that everybody needs. And so it has to come from others,
You can't do it on your own.
No. And I was watching a short video just a few days ago. I really enjoyed watching this. And it was all about your words. So what you say can make or break somebody. And powerful. And, it was all about, you could give some stats to somebody and they'll go, oh, must be right. It might not be. but somebody would believe that and say, right, well, I'm going to change my business to do this and that because I've heard that. So, your words is really important. So how we approach things, how we speak. One thing that I would say probably I've been poor at in the past is to listen more. Because listening is really a good art. It's very quick just to speak, but maybe just to stay quiet and just listen to what others have got to say.
And
really
don't be afraid of silence as well.
Yes.
There's a lot.
Yes.
That silence can be a really powerful tool as well, just to kind of wait and see what the other person is actually thinking, or give them space and time to.
Yes, and that's just on the silence piece. I remember mentoring a person on in terms of they had a big presentation to do, and when she did come to do the presentation, it's like 3 months of going through. Yeah, this is how. And one thing I did say to her, I said, if you do go quiet, don't worry. Because nobody's expecting anything. Just be yourself and absolutely just take the time that you need and try and stay calm and confident. She did an amazing presentation, but she did go silent at one point, and she got out of it very quickly and continued and sat there tears down my eyes just watching her do this. Was just amazing. You know, when you go into meetings and people are quick just to say what they want to say, and actually have they heard from everybody in the room?
Absolutely, because there are often
not everybody,
people, the more quiet people in the room, they always
probably not going to say anything.
They always say, be afraid of the quiet person in the room, because they're probably the ones that know the most.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a good...
And just be conscious of the people around you and those that are less confident, that probably need a little bit more of a nudge and a support to speak up. Yeah.
If you had just one message you can leave with our listeners today, what would it be?
Well, from everything we've covered, I think the most important message, and there's probably lots of, I don't know, Rachel, we've got another hour for this, but...
we could have 3 days.
Yeah. I'd say, who are you helping out there? We're all very busy, but we've all got a bit of time to give. We can all listen, speak, and we've all got amazing skills. Everybody will have some amazing skills. And what have we done to sort of share that? Whether it's the children out there, or whether it's the businesses, or whether it's our prisoners, I'd say take a bit of time out. And if every single person in this world, I'd say, was mentoring somebody, training courses would be a thing of the past. So I think we can all give a little bit of time out there. That's what I'd say. Yeah.
That's a great message, Noor. Amen to that.
I'm on LinkedIn, if anybody ever has any questions or wants any support.
I can't wait to get this out to people as well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really valuable for people to understand more about you and more about the way you lead and what you're doing in the community.
Community is very important.
And in business as well.
Yeah, community is very important. And especially these small businesses, they're really important. And I really appreciate you inviting me today and to talk about this. I've got a lot of thanks to do out there to everybody who's been on this journey with me, especially on the retail side. You talk about leaders and I can, again, there's so many to mention, but, you know, people who allow, regardless of what's happened in life, to be able to talk to people again, the same people, is a great accolade to have. Be forgiving, forgive and forget, and move on and help others is what I'd say.
Noor Ali, that is the most amazing summary of our day together this morning. But thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute inspiration for me. And I'm sure it will be for everyone that's listening as well. And thank you, Noor.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks.
It's lovely to meet you. Thank you.
You too.